Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fast Charging with B&B. I am Bear. That's
And I'm
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, that's him. Hey,
I
what do
don't know
you?
why he does
I,
that. He
I
does
don't
the
know if
intro
you're
different every time.
every time because I want to be different. I don't want to read a script. But today we're going to talk about BYD and whether or not they are doomed. They are the last car manufacturer on our list that we are ranking and rating and deciding whether or not they will have a future or they will go get the guillotine. Okay, go
So
ahead,
in
Brian.
the
Take it away.
yeah, so in the U.S. they're only showing one model, the Han EV, and it looks nice. It's not necessarily available for sale just yet. They do have a showroom in Los Angeles, and I know the cars drive because we followed one. And we got stuck in traffic, didn't get there until they closed, and an employee drove out in one, and we followed it for a bit. So I got some stalker footage somewhere I haven't used. So, do you know who BYD is?
Tell me.
They're mostly a battery company, one of the bigger ones in the world, and they make also a lot of cars. They're the second or third biggest electrified manufacturer, if you count the hybrids.
Yeah.
But they do
Brie
sell a lot.
Briefly, let's touch on that. Uh, BYD is often advertised as the number one electric car manufacturer in the world, but the majority of their electrification is hybrids and plug-ins and not actual full electrification.
Yes,
I'll leave it at that.
and they also sell electric buses, which are on the road around the world already. In 2022, BYD announced that it had sold 641,000 EVs in the first half of the year. But again, that includes the hybrids. Overtaking Tesla. Except,
Not
did you?
really.
Not
Yeah.
really. For fun, I went ahead and looked at the European site, which shows a lot more models. It shows you what's actually being sold on the roads now throughout Europe. And these are good looking cars. They're capable. They're reasonably popular. They haven't made huge inroads yet. Oh, actually, let me double check. Are they? Yeah, I think they are already being sold in Europe. And they know how to build these cars. So, what I haven't seen is many reviews. So I just went to Top Gear and I looked at their review, and they gave it good marks. I think 3.5 stars, which is pretty consistent with other reviews I saw around. It is, yeah, a lot more. It's fine. They've got they're doing fine, I guess. So with that limited information, what would you like to give it in terms of engineering, having never seen one?
Yeah, it's just I'm too limited on it. I know that they've been accused. Were they the one? No, it was Neo that was accused of like stealing like the Model S design. Though the Han, was it the Han? Um, One of them looked very similar to the Model S. Um,
Yeah, I can see it. It also
yeah,
looks, from the front, it also looks a bit like the Ionic 6.
yeah, a little bit, a little.
Yeah, yeah,
But this came out before the six, so
yeah,
I couldn't say that that's
yeah, yeah.
a stolen one. Yeah, the Han definitely has a resemblance because it is a bigger vehicle, I believe, than the three.
Yeah. So for engineering, what is your
Uh,
completely wild blind guess?
I've got to stick it. I'm going to give it a six. I know that they do okay on the range. They've got a little bit of power to them, not a ton, but 4.6, which is their 0 to 60 miles per hour. It's not horrible. It's decent. It's better than most gas cars. So they got something going on there. Um, 400 kilometers WLTP, uh, but combined, I get that's their combined in the city. They're 528. So it's decent. It's all-wheel drive also. So, yeah,
And that model is catered to the European market, which is not as range sensitive because they do have very good charging network built out already, and also everything's just closer together. The population density is much higher.
yeah. Now the Han in the U.S. is 3.9, and the range is 602 kilometers, and that's not combined.
Okay. So we're giving them a 7 and a 6. Now let's talk about demand for the models that they sell. They are more affordable. One of the reasons that they're able to sell in Europe at a better deal is because the U.S. has an import tariff on these vehicles at 28%. That makes them not cost competitive. If they build a factory, which seems like the sort of thing they would probably want to do, it is reasonable to assume that they would be able to address this market. So on this one, what I did is I pulled up this awesome chart that I love to show that compares. What does that sound?
Oh, really? I turned on my AC unit. All right, all right.
We're very close to done.
Woo! I'm very close to sweating.
Done. So if you look at this chart, you'll see that as the price goes down, this is on the Tesla Roddy article about addressable market.
Got it.
There's a chart from Twitter from user Matthias Fons, where you see as the price decreases, the total addressable market increases sharply. And this 40-ish thousand range is where BYD hopes to be and under. So I think in terms of demand, I think they're in a very strong position. Maybe not in the U.S., but we're talking about these companies globally, and the U.S. is, to my surprise, I just found this out, only one country. I thought it was the whole world, but apparently that's a uniquely American way of looking at things. Didn't know that either. So, in terms of demand, I'm going to give them a nice high score. I'm going to say 8.
Yeah, I think their demand is very high. They do sell a lot. Very well known outside of the U.S. When they come here and they build a factory, if they've got the Chinese project managers, the factory would be done in 2 weeks, and they'll get moving real soon. So I'm going to give them a 9.
I don't think that's unreasonable at all. Cost controls. So they are profitable. Now, this gross margin that we're looking at here includes things like battery sales and plug-in hybrid sales, but we have to assess them company-wide. If selling EVs is only part of their business behind other things, I say in terms of cost controls, they got it dialed in. I believe I'm looking like an 8 or a 9 on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a 9.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even touch that 8.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 as well. You convinced me,
Okay.
Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear, if that is your real name.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally. Cash on hand, $10 billion. Not as strong as I would have liked to see. That is an uncomfortably small amount of money if they wish to build new factories in new countries.
But you're missing something.
What am I missing?
As you look at this chart, it was just a mere
2 years ago.
2 years ago, they were at $2
Yeah.
billion, and
Boy.
they have quadrupled that in the last 2.5 years. Not even 2.5 years.
Wow.
So that's a world of difference.
Wow. That is
I mean, like
very good.
we were looking at Hyundai several weeks ago, and they hit 15 billion 10 years ago, or it was 20 billion, and they only managed to go up about 5 billion. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's a good catch. So I guess that will upgrade my opinion on their cash on hand. I'm going to give them a 6.
I'm going to go with a 7 just because of how much they've increased it just in the last 2 years.
All
Yeah.
reasonable, I think. Yeah. Now comes the fun part, the roadmap. They're doing things that are pretty unique BYD scraps the spin-off chip unit. They were going to spin off their chip division, and they decided, you know what? Nah, we're restructuring to tap the electric vehicle market. We need our own chip design in-house. So they have chip design. They're doing it themselves. They are currently partnered with NVIDIA for their autonomous program, but on the next one we see, they are looking to independently develop their own intelligent driving chip. This is a level of vertical integration that is very uncommon in anything, let alone automotive. And the last big part of the roadmap is they're one of the top battery manufacturers in the world. Number 3, they made, as of 2022, 12% of the world's batteries, ahead of Panasonic. And Panasonic makes a lot of batteries.
Yeah.
So,
Where's Duracell on that? An Energizer. Where's the bunny?
well, this is just car
I
batteries.
know. It's
Yeah.
a joke. They're that whole thing with the semiconductors, the fact that they're making their own chips. Even Elon Musk has said that that's not something that Tesla's really looking into because of really what's required with the foundry and the billions of dollars.
Well, BYD is still not manufacturing the chips. They are designing them. So they create the architecture, but they don't actually build them. So that's exactly what Tesla has done.
Okay.
They're just tapping into chip design experts in China who can't or won't work for chip fabs outside the country, I'm guessing. But they've got all the pieces in place. How compelling are the cars? I'm not sure. But the cars are getting better, I'm sure. All cars by all makers are still in their early days in EVs, and we will see big improvements. So for roadmap, I've got to give them a 9.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that one either.
Boy, we might have a new leaderboard expert here. I'm just gonna.
No, they're engineering. We couldn't give them a rating because we didn't know anything.
Oh, that's true. But we did give them a rating.
Well, we couldn't give them an honest rating. They could be higher, but I mean, their cars, if you want to put in the engineering, is part of the style. It is kind of slacking. I mean, it's not inspiring.
It's not inspiring. The Han, I think, looks nice.
Yeah,
and-
but that's it. You said it right there. It looks nice.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, none of GM's cars make me super giddy either. Whoops. How did I goof that? There we go.
So, Brian, what makes you giddy?
Trying to think of a car that makes me giddy. I guess I'd say,
I wasn't asking about a car.
oh, that's different.
Yeah, that's awkward,
so
huh?
BYD, indeed, the new leaderboard at the top, 79, 3 points ahead of General Motors, who scored a 76. This number does not surprise me. I think it is pretty clear that they are doing all the right things. They're already selling the buses in other countries. It's going to work. I think it's just plain going to work.
Yeah. Agreed. And I'm totally cool with the two numbers there. BYD and GM at the top there.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Sandy Munro had told me in an interview we did in November, I think. I said, who's going to be number? Because BYD. They're coming fast, and they're doing all the right things. The fact that they have their own batteries in-house means they can control the supply, control the costs. The fact that they're already a profitable company means they can grow. The fact that they're adding stacks of cash every year and growing quickly while still growing, amazing. I think they've got all the pieces, and they are one to watch out for.
agreed.
You know what that means?
We have finished this.
Yeah, it means we got to thank our patrons who get all kinds of great benefits sometimes, but most of all, we get the benefit we get to stay on the air because they help us so much, and I appreciate that. It's invaluable and appreciated.
Yes. I'm going to give out another ditto to that because this is exhausting. These. Okay.
For the
Brian's-
curious,
Brian knocked me out.
we shot 7 of these back to back because I'm going out of town. I'm out of town as we speak. If you enjoyed the series, tell us what vehicles we should do more of. And of course, we'll look at our viewership and see if it actually worked or if we just wasted a lot of time. But hey, man, we're here for whatever.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this series. And if you got any suggestions for other series, shoot them at us, and maybe we'll knock that out too in one morning or afternoon.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.